The mechanical tail fin was burning up in the Dragon King's flames, and I could feel Toothless struggling to keep us airborne. My hands were shaking as I tried to control the damaged tail mechanism, knowing that one wrong move would send us both plummeting into that inferno. How the hell did a scrawny Viking kid like me end up in an aerial deathmatch with the most terrifying creature that ever existed? Well, buckle up because this story is about to get wild. If you're already hooked on this wild ride, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic movie breakdowns. Far up in the frozen north, there's this tiny Viking village called Berg. My name's Hiccup, Horrendous Haddock III. Yeah, and the people? Huge, loud, and always ready for a fight. We fish, we herd sheep, and every so often we defend ourselves from something a little more fire-breathing. See, while other places deal with rats or wolves, Berg gets dragons. When the warning horn blows, the night sky lights up with fire, and the air fills with roars and the smell of burning wood. Dragons dive from the clouds, stealing livestock and food, and the rest of us fight tooth and nail just to keep our home standing. At the head of every battle is Chief Stowhite, the vast our fearless leader, and unfortunately for me, my dad. He's everything a Viking should be: tall, broad, strong enough to crush a log with his bare hands. And then there's me, Hiccup, tall as a fence post, skinny as one too, and about as dangerous. My dad's favorite words to me during raids: get back inside. But I've always wanted more. I wanted to fight, to prove I belong, and maybe, just maybe, impress Astrid, the beautiful, smartest, most stubborn warrior in training in the village. One night, in the middle of a raid, it happened. A shape streaked across the sky faster than lightning, a night fury, the most mysterious dragon of them all. Nobody's ever seen one up close at least, not and lived to tell about it. They're deadly accurate, striking from the dark and disappearing without a trace. I had my shot literally. With my homemade crossbow contraption, I aimed into the clouds and fired. To my shock, I hit it. Somewhere out there, the night fury went down. I turned to celebrate, but nobody saw. Nobody believed me. Even my dad just gave me that look, the Hiccup, stop making things up look. So, the next morning, I snuck out to prove it. I followed a long trail of broken branches and scorched earth deep into the forest until I found it. The night fury lay tangled in ropes, one wing badly torn. This was it, the moment I dreamed about. I raised my knife, stepping closer, and then it looked at me, not with hatred, not with rage, with fear. And something inside me froze. I couldn't do it. Instead, I cut the ropes. The dragon bolted upright, towering over me, hissing, teeth bared. I thought for sure I was dead, but instead of tearing me apart, it roared in my face, spread its wings, and tried to take off, only to stumble awkwardly into the sky. Back in the village, Dad had news. I was now enrolled in dragon killing training. Great. Except I couldn't kill one now, not after what I seen. Days later, I found the night fury again by a lake, grounded, unable to fly. This time, I brought a peace offering a fish. It watched me with cautious eyes, then crept forward and snatched it from my hand. We were no longer enemies, so I gave him a name, Toothless. Turns out, he wasn't toothless at all, just polite enough to hide them. I learned quickly. Dragons aren't mindless killing machines. They can be curious, playful, and even loyal. I decided I'd help him fly again. It wasn't easy. I built a new tail fin, strapped it on, and let's just say, our first few flights didn't exactly end gracefully. We crashed into trees, clipped mountain ledges, and once landed in a lake. But day after day, we got better. Until one morning, we burst through the clouds together, and I felt the wind on my face, the sun on my back, and the world spread out beneath us like it was ours alone. Toothless and I became a team. What I learned from him, I used in the training ring, dodging, calming, outsmarting dragons, instead of killing them. I went from dead last in my class to first place. Astrid was suspicious about my sudden improvement. She followed me and discovered my secret. Her first instinct was to grab an axe, but I convinced her to give Toothless a chance. She ended up flying with us. High above the clouds, the world felt different, free, limitless. That's when we discovered the truth. Every dragon with thoughts was bringing food to one place. A massive, smoke-filled mountain, home to something far worse, the Red Death. A dragon the size of a mountain, forcing the others to feed it or be eaten themselves. Back in Berg, the final exam arrived. I refused to kill the dragon in the arena, but things went bad fast. Toothless charged in to save me and was captured. Dad went to find the dragon's nest. He took Toothless as a guide and sailed for the nest. Astrid got me back on my feet. We grabbed our friends, tamed a few dragons, and took off after them. We got there just in time. The Red Death had awakened, and it was tearing our fleet apart like driftwood. Even Dad couldn't make a dent. We dove into the fight, distracting the beast while I freed Toothless. For the first time, Dad looked me in the eye and said, "Whatever happened, son, I'm proud of you." We shot into the sky, the Red Death's shadow blotting out the sun as it followed. We climbed higher into the clouds, using them for cover, then dove straight down, wind screaming past. The beast was right behind us. At the last second, Toothless flipped around and blasted into its open mouth, igniting the fire it hadn't released yet. The explosion lit up the sky. The shockwave hit like a hammer, tossing me into the air and down into the fire below. Toothless roared a sound that shook the heavens and dove in after me, ignoring the flames searing his wings. On the ground, Dad charged into the blaze and found only Toothless, burned and gasping. For a moment, he thought I was gone. Then Toothless lifted his head, slowly spread his wings, and there I was, alive, cradled against his chest. When I woke, I had lost my left leg. Toothless had lost part of his tail fin. We didn't need words, those scars were proof we'd faced death together. From that day, Berg didn't hunt dragons. We flew with them. And on a bright morning, Toothless and I cut through the clouds, our shadows racing across the ocean, flying toward whatever came next, together.